Hi, and welcome to our MicroStrategy Express tutorial. In this guide, we plan to educate the user on this cloud-based analytics tool and answer the question, what can banks do to increase their revenues? This presentation is brought to you by Team 7 from T-Marketing 490. A MicroStrategy Consumer Complaint Analysis module. This tutorial is going to go over the key functions and features of MicroStrategy Analytics Express. We are going to explore cloud-based MicroStrategy Analytics Express and gain learning experience using powerful tools. We will create visual representations of the data using a variety of charts and graphs for the end user to easily interpret the data. We will gain insights on how MicroStrategy Analytics Express can be used to demonstrate business intelligence. We will also make strategic management decisions based on unique visualization results created for each analyst by the user. The end goal is to understand the basics of how to use MicroStrategy and an idea of how it can be applied in real-world situations. This tutorial starts off giving the user a brief description of what they will learn and the scenario they will apply it to in this guide. Next starts instructions from the very beginning, where we guide the user to create an account with MicroStrategy Express. Next is a detailed description of how to set up a team and send out invitations for others to join. The last part of getting set up is downloading the dataset to be used. Included is a link where the data can be found and instructions on how to upload it to MicroStrategy. The scenario we are using for this tutorial deals with Bank of America and their customer complaints. Specifically, Bank of America is looking into which product generates the greatest number of consumer complaints. The dataset we will be using contains information about numerous companies, several financial products, branch locations, complaint resolutions, ID numbers, and other criteria. As a consultant for Bank of America, you're going to use that data set to first determine the product with the greatest number of consumer complaints to Bank of America in 2013, and second, determine which product is responsible for the greatest amount of monetary relief that Bank of America has to pay. With your findings, you're going to create a total of 4 visualizations, including one advanced dashboard so users can easily interpret the data. With the large amount of data we have, we want to exclude all data objects that are irrelevant to the question. This will help ensure accuracy and a clear visualization. For the first scenario, we want to keep only data concerning Bank of America and complaints in 2013. We want to exclude the columns titled Complaint ID because we are looking for totals, and exclude timely response because whether it was yes or no doesn't apply. It is always best to remove any unnecessary data to make it easier for the end user to read. After filtering down the data, it leaves you with the grid that you see at the right. It shows each product of Bank of America in a different row with a total count in the far right column. The grid is the default display for the data. Now let's change the visualization by selecting the Change Visualization button in the toolbar and choose what you think would visually represent the data the best. For the purpose of this tutorial, let's select bar graph. Here is the bar graph visualization. As you hover the mouse over each bar, a box pops up that tells you which product it is and the total number of complaints. It might be best to try several different visualizations and pick the one you think suits it best. For scenario 2, we want to see which of Bank of America's products is responsible for the highest amount of monetary relief. For this, we will be using the dataset objects company, company response, product, and row count. Just like in the first scenario, we are going to filter out the unnecessary data. This includes all companies except Bank of America and all company responses except for closed with monetary relief. As you can see on the grid at the right of your screen, Bank of America has 6 products that have complaints that were closed with monetary relief. Looking through the numbers, you're able to figure out that bank accounts or service have the greatest number of consumer complaints that were closed with monetary relief. Now let's see if we can make it easier to interpret. Since we are comparing the total number of monetary relief resolutions for each product to one another, let's try using a pie chart visualization. With this pie chart, it is now easy to see that not only do bank account and service have the highest amount of monetary relief resolutions, but it accounts for more than half, almost 3/4 of all of Bank of America's monetary relief resolutions. As you hover the mouse over each section of the pie chart, it brings up the total number of complaints as well as its own percentage. For some additional practice, try this exercise. Determine the top 10 products that were disputed. Use your judgment in which dataset objects are sufficient and use skills previously learned. Choose a suitable chart or graph that demonstrates the data most effectively and is the easiest for the end user to read. This allows Bank of America to realize where to focus attention in this specific area by visually seeing which products were most disputed and their relative size to one another. This heat map shows which products of Bank of America were the most disputed. As you can see, loan modifications, collections, and foreclosures accounted for more than half. Now try manipulating the characteristics of the heat map to make it more visually appealing. The last part of this tutorial is to create an advanced visualization. Creating an advanced visualization puts 4 graphs or charts onto one visualization. This is helpful in presenting a summary of the data. Thank you for watching our tutorial. A few key takeaway points we want you to remember is that Bank of America now has the ability to take advantage of specific areas to reduce complaints. Root cause analysis is used to improve business intelligence. With these available tools, information overload is avoided, and performances and tasks become less time-consuming for employers. The ability to solve problems become effective and efficient. MicroStrategy Analytics Express therefore empowers an organization with useful tools to support managerial decision-making.